You were choking on something pink before?
If anybody don't know about it, I mean, come on. This is a safe place.
Did I walk into this room and you were talking about penis?
Hold on. We're talking about choking on pink stuff. I ain't choked on no pink penis.
Once. Pink stuff kind of rhymes with penis.
It does. Yeah.
Also, penises are pink.
White man penises are pink. My penis ain't pink. Prove it.
We're living in America.
You said this was okay.
Right. We're living in America where 75% of the population.
This is America.
75% of the male population has pink penis in America.
I don't think that's true.
I feel like we definitely didn't get that 15 seconds of silence at the start.
No, we didn't. That's why I tried to stop talking.
That's okay, though. We get 15 seconds of silence now and then go into the intro. Piece of shit.
Alright, so we start that over now.
Yeah.
2 whiskeys.
Ah, come on, man.
Sit still, my boy, for I'm going to tell ye a story that may very well save your life.
This isn't Joe Rogan's podcast. We're not going to start talking about DMT.
I did DMT for the first time last week. It was wild.
You knew what I was going to talk about.
I knew.
Before you even said
I knew it. I was going to say it, and I was like, no, I'm going to wait till he says it.
Hi, I'm Joe. Want to talk about DMT, Rogan. This is Joe Rogan.
Did you see God? Where the space aliens? Did Mother Nature touch a nipple?
What's up, freak bitches?
Okay,
So what's on the agenda today there, Ryan?
well, I'm going to do the intro first.
Oh, okay. I guess.
All right, welcome back for the first time again to a Two Whiskeys podcast. We're joined today by a very good friend of ours.
I'm Captain Eric.
Yes, he is. We're not trapped in the room anymore, which is, it's a start.
Got space.
Yeah, we got so many donations from our Patreon and subs on Twitch.
Yeah, we were able to hire a
We're
rescue team.
able to, buy a new house.
House tour on the vlog. Look out for that, I guess.
Yeah. You got Two Whiskeys on YouTube.
Yeah. Anyway, this is our good friend John Arthur, also known in the SCA as Born.
What's that mean?
What about his last name?
His SCA last name?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Oh, wow. First mate.
Wait, is it Hurricanes?
No.
Oh, my bad.
I should probably just say yes. No, it's Cade Fuel. Cade Fuel.
All right.
Scotch
I
tape.
remember you bringing it up at one point, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's my bad. Anyway, off to a great start.
Well, you shouldn't feel too bad. He barely even knows how to pronounce it, so.
Fucking Scottish Gaelic. What do you want from me?
A proper pronunciation of your last name, perhaps?
Fuck you.
Is the standard too high? All right, but this time we're going to be obviously getting some of Vorn's experiences within the SCA because he is, to put it in perspective, Vorn is maybe the second most interesting person I have ever met in my life.
Thanks.
I'm gonna let you hold on
Why are
to
you
that.
laughing?
I'm gonna let you hold on to that feather in your cap. Not going to disprove or anything.
He's not wearing one right now.
Shut the fuck up. When am I ever little?
People on Spotify don't even know that.
Yeah, they're just listening in. But anyway, you've been in the military before. You used to hop trains, if I recall. You've worked for Carnival, right? What was it Carnival?
Yeah, Carney for like a couple months.
The vast
And
majority of his life.
I did it for years.
Still in.
I was a Carney for a couple months, and when shows come in town, I will try to get picked up and see what's up because they're fun. You do a lot of stuff. You're basically a land pirate.
It sounds very adventurous. I mean, I went and I partied with some carnies with you at one point.
Oh yeah, I
That was a
forgot
fun
I brought you to go
experience.
do that.
We only almost got into a fight like 4 times. Wasn't bad.
With each other or with the other carnies?
The other carnies.
Yeah.
We had each other's back in the situation. But that's a story for another time or never. I'm not sure. That was an interesting night.
Maybe never.
All right.
How long y'all known each other?
Ooh, how long have I known you? One, let's see now. It's been... Better question is, where did I meet you?
You...
Oh, we don't know each other at all.
We drink too much.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Draco?
Yeah.
You're right. I think I met you... I know I didn't meet you at a pirate party first. I think I may have met you at a con.
No, it wasn't at a con. I remember, if anywhere, I met you at a party.
But it wasn't... Oh, no. I walked in your fucking house when you were on,
DMT.
No. When you were on, I think you were living in, it wasn't two nights, Monticello, yeah. Monticello.
Okay. The one of the Winya parties?
Yeah, I think that's when I met you.
Yeah, I met a lot of new people during that because I was just basically Gatsby. Like half people there didn't even know it was my party.
Yeah.
I would literally chill off to the side in a suit at a like middle of nowhere bonfire party when everyone else is just in normal ass clothing.
They were all there for the free giveaway of the blacksmith.
You enjoying the booze, dear boy?
The old chap.
Oh, terrible.
But yeah, that was going on over 4 years ago, at least 5 years ago now.
Yeah, I'd put it at like 5 to 6.
Okay, so we've known each other about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
How long have you known him, Joe?
He's known.
We knew of each other in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
We weren't the best of friends from what I remember. I didn't drink nearly as much in high school.
Yeah. No, the only person who offends me that they don't remember because they were my friend is Jake. Jake is actually the person I've known the longest and actually been like friends with.
See, that lines up. Me and Jake weren't even friends in high school. We weren't friends until after high school.
I tried to make friends with everybody.
I vaguely remember because you look way different.
Yeah, I was fucking bald, and my head is like a fucking alien without my dreads.
Which is saying a lot coming from me because like then I had like fucking the bowl haircut and no beard or anything. I haven't seen my own chin in over 10 years.
Now, to put into perspective for anybody that might be listening and not viewing, Joey has like over a foot long, maybe close to 2 foot long hair.
Yeah, I just shaved it this morning.
Not on his beard, but his beard is massive. He's referred to in the SCA by some as the beard. And Vaughn, who was just described as bald, has massive dreads.
Luxurious.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
And a rocking goatee going, which he certainly did not have in high school.
No. It has actually taken me like 4 years, maybe 5. Actually, since I've known you, I'm not shaving to get this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't think we actually became real friends until I think I showed up to a random Dago Here event, a local Dago Here event once, before I even got into the SCA.
Yep. And I was like, I know you. And you were like, I know you. All right.
Let's fight.
Yeah. And then we started talking, and then he invited me to do stuff.
But I remember back when I first got into Dago Here, there was immediate drama in the Dago Here community among the leaders and who's going to take over and what groups are going to die out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there like, this guy will be perfect for a group I'm going to create. I've known him for 2 days and there's already group drama.
I fucking love it.
This would be wonderful. That was Death Now.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Oddly enough, the person that took over Death Now is not my pledge in the SCA. I don't know how to pick them. So,
anyway, moving on to the topics we want to talk about. Actually, a little bit. Like, there's been a little bit of background as far as like us knowing you. Like, is there any background like you want to give on yourself? And as I said, you might have one of the most interesting life stories. So, can you describe yourself a little bit?
I come from a really eclectic background. Like, I grew up Muslim and Latino and Black. So that's weird. Also, my family, specifically my father and my mom, super into like Asian martial arts. So grown up in a dojo my entire life. And as I grew up, loved to do like martial art tournament, wrestling tournaments, all that good stuff. Adrenaline junkie. I love to go out and just have a good time and find crazy things that other people can't do. And I love to socialize.
Of course.
do you have any stories from the SCA? You know, you've been in and out of it for about 5 or 6 years now. You've been full on in it for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I know firsthand you have several stories that I've heard multiple times. I would love to hear all of them again. Obviously, don't do that right now. We're on a time budget. But is any come to mind?
One of my favorites actually is when you challenged me.
Oh, he loves stories. Start with him.
Vagabond party? This is the vagabond party?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Where you challenged me to get into a party.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right. No, not the one where I snuck in. The one where
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
You told me to get in, and I was like, I had the tokens I needed to get into the party because I had the coins. I'd gotten 3 different ones from throughout the years. Only been to the event once. Had the coins, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to sneak into this party because this is the party you're not supposed to be able to sneak into. And if I get caught, I have my fallback. I have my token. So I see the band walking in, and I decide to walk straight in with the band. And then,
while I'm waiting in line, right?
while Cap's waiting in line, I just step out of line, step in with the band, and walk straight in. I then come back out and get the other first timers and walk them in with the guys saying that I couldn't see.
Yeah, you said one of them was like, "This is your handler."
Yeah, I said, I was like, I can't see. I don't have my glasses. This is my handler. and I was like, this is her friend. And just boop, right on in. Cap's just like, forward.
I think it was before that, one of my favorite experiences, because we were going to Penzic, and I always had the mindset ever since me and Draco first went to Penzic, our first event ever. The leaders of the camp said, "Oh, we're gonna take you down to the party area. We're gonna throw you to the wolves." And we left them because they were taking too long to get down there. And
we had shit to do.
Yeah, we had shit to do. We had things to drink. Yeah. And so I'm like, flash forward years later, and Born's my pledge at that point. It's his first Penzic. I don't know if that was your first SEA event. I think you've been to other ones.
Had you been to a WoW before that? Or Fool's War even? No, because you missed.
No, I think
that was his first event.
Wow.
Yeah, Penzic was my.
So it was also your first event. So I'm sitting there like, I had these pledges. It's their first event. And it was Born here, another friend, and it was her first event, if I remember. Yeah, and like I'm gonna actually throw these people to the wolves. I didn't get to do that.
Yeah, you didn't get that.
You got people
harsh
to introduce you to people,
and that's a lot of time when I peak. You know, when some of the most fun shit happens to me and around me, and I know Vaughn well enough that he'll probably get some sort of similar experience. So I took him to one of the most well-known debaucherous parties going on that night. It was a naked.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he was aware.
No.
I just told him, follow me.
I didn't know I was gonna have to get naked.
It was a female. Like y'all follow me.
Yeah, it was Dewana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I have a story about that party too.
And we walk up to the gate. I've told Vaughn and Vaughn nothing at this point. Like so.
Other than we're going to be
and both of y'all are fully willing to be subjected to pretty much anything Penzic had to offer.
Oh yeah.
Being a virgin, you had very little. you knew very little what Penzic could offer,
but I was going to see it all.
I know you experienced way more debaucherous shit than I could have possibly ever introduced you to firsthand.
And for context for Vorn, since I know he probably cares about this kind of thing, he was not a literal virgin at the time. He was a Penzic virgin.
I've used that word speaking about Penzic so often that
it's just normal.
It doesn't even mean.
He didn't lose his virginity for like 3 more years.
He was
terrible. Don't out me like that.
And this was 2 years ago.
Just like a few minutes ago, Cap decided to help me out.
Oh no!
There for you, Blake.
Whatever way you need.
Friendship.
So we walk up to this fucking party, and they get the door guard like they do at every other party. And like, so you think you're ready for this kind of shit? And both of me, fuck yeah. So, like, go in there. I'll let you take it away from there because I didn't get to hear the conversation. Did I tell you it was a naked party?
No, you told me as I walked up because you're like, hey, be ready to take your clothes off. I was like, what? Do I have to strip to get in the door or something?
And he did.
I walk up just like, hey, letting you know this is a naked party. I look back at Cap and I'm like, Oh, fuck.
This motherfucker right here.
I said I was fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. Bang. I'm gonna just walk in here. Whatever. I don't have a tiny dick. This will be fine. And the person so I walk in with Devonna. We look around. Everyone's butt ass fucking naked. And I'm like, oh, this is a real naked party. Like, there isn't a leaf over your crotch. You don't have like a fucking like string over your pee hole or over your like clit or something.
There's not even like a tree to stand behind.
You're just
no bushes, nothing.
There's a fire pit. There's a fire pit in the middle. Naked people sitting on stools at a bar, and then just naked. And so I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna get out of my nice like Pinzig gear. I just take off my clothes, and Devonna's like, hell yeah, let's go. She just strips down. Now, for reference, because this is part of the story, she is a buxom or curvy black woman. Beautiful hair, loves to dress up and stuff. Dude, we're hanging out. We're I don't think we're the only black people there, but we're the only ones standing in the middle just trying to like talk to people and shit. This dude comes up and starts talking to her. And he's like talking to the both of us because it's polite since we're like standing next to each other. And this guy is at full mass. His dick, as he talks to her, he's staring at her fucking tits, looking up at her face, talking to her. And he's got like a Jersey accent, but like he's been punched in the mouth like 12 times Jersey accent. So it's terrible. And like it was annoying hearing him talk because I can't even like someone gotta hit me in the face for me to talk like that. I gotta have brain damage. But he's just sitting there talking to her and he gets a full erection. And he isn't aware of his dick because he's drinking. And it's just pressed up against my leg. And I'm just like,
oh no.
But it's a naked party, and I'm like, I don't know when is etiquette. I don't know the etiquette to be like, yo, nigga, you have an erection.
Like, hey man, can you get your dick off me or something?
Yeah. And so instead of saying anything, I stepped back. But we are standing by the fire. So I step right back into a metal grate. And it starts sizzling the back of my leg. But I'd rather let that burn me than step away from, or then step back towards his dick. So I'm just sitting there with the back of my leg. I still have the scar, actually. It's a fucking brown mark on the back of my leg from me just standing there trying to avoid this guy's dick. We finally go to the bar, drink, and the guy decides, by the end of it, he decides to follow us home, trying to fuck Devonna. So I get her to her, like, back to like our camp, and then I walk him back to his camp because I'm just like,
what a gentleman.
I mean, I touched his dick. It was with my thigh, so he deserves something special.
I know.
I saw the spark in his eyes.
I know ran back into you shortly after that.
Yeah, he kept following us.
Because I took a lap and then I came back, and I want to say I ran into y'all coming out, but I was also at Pinzig and therefore drunk, so.
We left the naked party, and then he followed us around for a bit and then we lost him, and then he found us again because that was the night that me and Devon hung all night. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, he was just looking for her hair. He was like, there you are. And I'm just like, oh my God.
That was actually a perfect Jersey accent. I can't believe you've been hiding that from us this whole time.
Yeah. Oh, shit. It was terrible.
Well, perfect Jersey accent if you've been hit in the face with a shovel like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, man.
So perfect, yeah, for the situation.
And by the way, he didn't even have like a flattering dick. I don't think there was a foreskin, so it didn't look like it was wearing a costume or a hat.
But man, speaking from experience, to trust his.
I know tits, y'all. But I was just like, oh, bro,
right,
I don't know if you're allowed to get erections at naked parties.
You've been to the classic.
I don't think they cut it off or anything, man.
You've been to the classic before, right? No, the classic swimming hole.
Oh yeah.
Had you been before that? I thought we were about 3 or 4 days in before I took you to that party.
No.
But you've been since then, right?
Yeah.
And for people that don't know, the classic swimming hole at Pinzig is just more or less all nude, a little dammed up creek that people swim in. And you don't have to worry about that problem because you're in Pennsylvania and the water's like 40 degrees.
Yeah. It's pretty rough in there.
Remember all the awkward, weird people?
No one is a shower there.
Hang gang. Hashtag hang gang.
Well, that was a fun story going into dick descriptions.
It started with dicks.
Would it be fair to say in that situation you were stuck by the fire and whatnot, you're between a rock and a hard place, right?
Yes.
I was willing to put that joke in there somewhere, but I didn't want to
I'm real mad about that.
Nice.
I try. I told you I'm fucking funny.
But
Anyway.
yeah, so that's Born in a nutshell.
No,
That's from an SCA standpoint.
That is a glimpse into the enigma that is Born.
And that's again another perspective on the SCA and Penzic. One day, maybe we'll talk about something that's not drinking, partying, debauchery.
Debauchery.
Can you edit this part? Debauchery.
Yeah, man. I'll make you look real smart.
Make me look the smartest.
I do words well.
Again, not a miracle worker. But all right, so moving on from that. All right, so you got an understanding of who Born is and whatnot, and the kind of place he's held within our lives for a few years now. I
believe that brings us into our next segment of.
Hey, let's talk about what we think is a very fitting whiskey for the times right now.
Spirits of the Apocalypse, The Walking Dead, branded Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 47% alcohol per volume. I didn't personally buy this, but it being a special edition, it comes in the 750 milliliter bottle.
Yeah.
It's probably the only size. I assume. I haven't been watching Walking Dead, so I don't know how hype it is right now.
I don't know. It's been going on for like 15 years or something.
Glenn got beat with a baseball bat.
Yeah,
That was years ago.
I stopped watching it after Negan. I left the picture.
He's still in it.
Oh, the word zombie faces now. Yeah, Negan's a good guy or something.
Well, let's not break into the Walking Dead conversation. I don't care about the show that much.
Yeah, just get a little bit better picture on it. There's that for people watching on YouTube and whatnot. Let's read the back of the bottle, shall we?
All right, sure. Let's break into that.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. An apocalypse has swept the globe, causing the dead to rise and feed on the living. In a matter of months, society has crumbled. There is no government, no grocery stores, no mail delivery, no cable TV. Luckily, there are spirits.
Yay.
Very on brand. But it does actually give the nutrition value on the back of the bottle, which I don't think I've ever actually seen on the back of the bottle.
I've never seen that on a liquor bottle at all.
Don't you want to know your calorie intake?
Yeah, no, for 1.5 fluid ounces, which is an average shot, it's 113 calories.
Boy, let me get some of that. I'm going to get
No carbs, though, so if you're on keto.
It is keto friendly for
Ayo.
looking at this special
most
edition.
booze keto?
Yeah, but
Not rum.
most unflavored.
Not wrong.
No, normal rum is spiced rum and anything like that, or not, because the flavor obviously has
Yeah,
more
sure,
sugar.
you're not going to like this.
I'm pretty sure I won't.
Check glass, please.
Yeah.
Let's pour them up a little
They're
bit.
breaking into this one early this time. I like it.
Oh, I love the sound.
You want to go ahead and drink that there, so...
It glugs like a whiskey when you pour it out of the bottle. I will say that.
I love that sound.
It doesn't smell as strong as the Blade and Bow, but it definitely still has that wood smell.
This, I believe, was about $40 for this bottle. What are your first impressions? So, you had to chase it, so...
Well, that's reflex at this point. We're spoiled. But I mean, it doesn't hit super hard. It's not as smooth as I wish it was. It definitely stings the sides and back of your tongue a little bit. Burns going down. That's maybe one of the good selling points of whiskey, in my opinion.
Yeah, at this point, having just drank a little bit,
Couple shots of that, I'll run into gunfire. Or gunfire, yeah.
You run straight into the zombie horde.
drinking something like this now, at this point, I wish I had a little bit more experience in liquor connoisseurship.
Well, maybe we'll build that as we go.
I mean, at the end of the day, for me personally, I've had a lot of different kinds of whiskeys from all different, types. This doesn't
Stand out.
Yeah, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't strike me as anything better than fucking like Jack Daniels.
I mean,
I beg to differ on that one.
Maybe you have a better palate than I do.
more
Maybe you have more
sophisticated palate.
experience.
Well, it doesn't-
Like just going off of the aesthetic, like they have it like looks like the old style bottle along with the old style script. It drinks like a cowboy whiskey where it just burns all the way around and you just kind of feel it after. You exhale and you're like, oh.
Does Jack Daniels and Jim Beam not do that for you?
Not really.
Yeah, that's surprising, actually.
Like
Jack does that for me. Jim doesn't do that.
yeah, Jim doesn't do that. Like sometimes, like I prefer Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that shit's great.
Yeah, but it like
But when that's what I'm talking
no. But what I'm saying is like the Jack Daniels doesn't when I drink Jack Daniels, it doesn't hit me like when I say a cowboy whiskey, which is like it's just kind of hard, and you're like, oh.
You can buy like a handle of one of those like well-known brands for what, $20?
Well, I'm just talking about its aesthetic. I feel like the drink fits the aesthetic that it is trying to go for.
Strong and gruff and apocalyptic.
Yeah, like
It's watered down.
It doesn't. Maybe I need another shot.
I mean, it did not taste watered down to me, but
Not me either.
Maybe I'm just crazy.
No, Jake, you just have a poor opinion of whiskey.
Maybe it's power of suggestion. Now that you said that, when
I stuck the tip of my tongue in and rolled around. I see.
Yeah, when I'm rolling it around, it doesn't burn the same as any cheap whiskey does. When I swallow it, I get the same fucking feel.
Yeah,
That happens with most whiskeys.
I don't get an aftertaste. It's any sweeter or better than I get with any cheap whiskey. Like, would you say that's worth the price, $35, $40?
I'm an aesthetics man, so yeah.
You like the bottle?
I like the bottle.
It's interesting.
I like the fact that it's trying to tell like a little mini story, and also the fact that I feel that the whiskey itself fits what they're trying to convey.
Yeah,
it
tells a story.
Yeah, and like I'm a sucker for shit like
They're
that.
definitely on brand. Do you think they have the right to fucking charge that much?
I mean, for honestly, like...
I mean, it's a collector's item for me.
Yeah, I can see that from a collector's point. If you're a massive Walking Dead fan,
I'm not even a
that's
Walking Dead fan. I just like the aesthetic.
It's also, like, that's also
Like,
a talking
that's
point.
collectible.
That's a talking point if you take it somewhere. To be honest, like, if you bring it to a party or something like that, it's like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
yeah, I can get the... I'm just not a huge fan of the show anymore.
I like the show
Maybe
back in
it
the day.
tasted better 4 years ago.
Yeah. If Walking
Maybe.
Dead was big, that probably would be awesome.
You're talking some big shit about this whiskey there, Vaughn. You haven't even taken your second shot yet.
I literally said it was a hard whiskey. I don't like hard
I
whiskey.
think my
Less
third.
talk, more down in the
Hey,
shot.
you have to run into a hell gunfire later. You need to get started.
Yeah.
But now that we're on that subject of the apocalypse,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Because that's
a fun subject. Everyone loves talking about.
of course.
Who doesn't love an apocalypse?
Vaughn, don't you want the apocalypse to happen?
Yes. In no uncertain terms, yes. Very much yes.
Can you expand upon that?
You want to be topped off on the whiskey, or yes?
Using me going into this kind of conversation. Like, you're an advocate for the end of the world, essentially, right?
Kinda, yeah. Just because, you know, if we're not gonna follow the rules of societal constraints, drop societal constraints, because apocalypse, man. Like, who doesn't want to run around Mad Max style? Let it be in bondage gear or fucking leather jackets. It looks dope.
Same thing to some people, whatever, man.
You fucking know, like it's.
Okay,
I
It's
agree
cool.
with everything he said.
of course. Well, I mean, you may not be able to tell just from Vaughn's persona in general, but he's a massive fan of, like, the Fallout series.
Love it.
That's the future you would love.
Yes.
You look forward to that.
Giant roaches, mutant people, and being able to shoot your neighbor is okay. You don't even have to kill him. Just be a 22 in the foot.
Let's say we're talking shit.
You need to have some very specific ideology.
This has nothing to do with fucking Fallout. He's just done this before.
I'm gonna start writing this down.
You ever said he was in the military?
Does have that kind of
Hunter S. Thompson shooting at his neighbor. What?
All right. Branch off that subject a little bit. Anyway, advocate of chaos here, wants to see the end of the world. So obviously we want to get his viewpoints and opinions on the current standings of the world.
Boy.
Oh, you got something to say about that?
I'm a little upset because the way things are looking, we were going to have like a mech apocalypse. Like China and Japan was going to have a fucking big revolution once they made us so far in debt we couldn't do anything. So they would just be able to mine us for metals and make fucking Gundams.
Oh, that was the fucking long con.
Yeah. But we're not even, like, with the virus going on, we're not even getting fucking Gundams, man. Elon Musk may die at any minute. Who knows?
He may take off to Mars at any minute and just leave
Bro,
us.
what is the name of his kid, by the way? Can anybody pronounce
Oh,
it?
yeah, yes. Actually, we want to talk about that. We actually researched this earlier. Yes, we did research for once. How to pronounce Elon Musk's new child's name?
What is it? Well, I don't know it at all, and I just know it's hard to pronounce. So I would like to know what the name is.
Okay.
XF-A12.
No.
Right?
What?
The F-22 Raptor.
Huh? Fucking what?
Okay. The actual way to pronounce it. You want me to pronounce it? Do you
I just did.
God damn.
What is it?
It is X Ash.
Ash. That was it.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce the little the Aether symbol. The AE combination is Ash, and then
A12.
A12 at the end of it. That's the child's fucking name.
I said X.
Did he create this thing like through?
Have you seen his wife?
No.
She looks like she was ripped directly out of the TV from a Tim Burton movie.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. Did he?
Pull up a picture of
Grimes. Grimes is her name,
Grimes.
by the way.
All right. Did he gene edit his child? Is this man making the Emperor of Mankind?
Well, no, in the
He's making it for a Mars.
child's defense, Grimes wanted to name. I think it's a daughter. Wanted to name her
No, I think it's a son.
son. Wanted to name the baby just the X and then the symbol for Ash.
Yeah, so
Right,
X
Wanted to name
Ash.
it X Ash, which is a pretty cool name. I like it. Elon
is
added the A12 because that was like the prototype of his favorite airplane or some shit.
So why the fuck is your kid's name a call number? Like, Nick, I have as many letters in my name as the alphabet, but I don't have call numbers in my name.
I'm gonna name my first kid Echo 6.
Fucking
Actual.
Elon.
So am I looking at the spelling for the child's name?
no. I want to see his wife.
Picture of Elon Musk's wife, Grimes. Or
Like,
girlfriend, I don't know.
So I need to know if
I think.
I need to know
Her
if
real
gene
name
edited
is
his-
Claire Elise Bouzier.
We want to see a picture of her for Vaughn.
Or Bouchier.
He has to be creating either the Adeptus Mechanicus for Mars or the Emperor of Mankind.
No, he honestly just named his child after like one of his passwords. That's it.
That's fucked. And nobody will be able to get your social security number.
If my phone loads, I'll show you guys.
All right, well,
Fucking, we need a
Let's-
better information guy.
yeah, we do. I appreciate that you've been here for one session. You can already recognize that about Jake.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
I want to go back to wishing Jake was here. I love you, Jake.
actually, on that note, while we're waiting on him to pull it up, I did notice something. Okay, well, I guess we'll get to that later.
Here you go.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay, thanks, Jake.
She is?
Welcome for nothing.
Here for you, buddy.
Okay, I have seen her.
Well, yeah. In a Tim Burton movie, yes.
She looks kind of like a Bratz doll but has a nose.
I can't tell if
Bratz
it's
dolls
gross.
not have noses?
Yeah, no,
Why do you
look
know
up
so
Bratz-
much about Bratz dolls.
No, look up Bratz. Because I'm a 90s kid.
Answer right.
Because it was all over TV when I was a child. Look it up. Bratz don't have noses.
You know,
like,
I
they
was
just have like a little bump.
a child at the same time you were a child.
No, you weren't. Nigga, you're older than me.
Joey, also, when you
We're
were
3 years older than you.
No, you're not. You're 4 years old.
You're 27?
26. I turned 27 this year.
Ooh,
When?
Joey
June
turned
28.
old.
I told you that.
You're turning 27 in a month.
Yeah.
I'm 3 years older than you.
4 right now. Fuck you.
Right now.
Or, three and some change.
You're
All
3 and 2 months older than me.
right, some
Yeah,
change. You're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you can't count you for
You're
nothing.
3 years. I was a child at the same time you were a child.
Do you not remember the Bratz and fucking Betty Spaghetti
I
commercials?
remember it. I didn't watch it.
I feel like you made up that second one.
No, Betty Spaghetti. It was
Yeah, no.
it was a flexible
You watched
arm.
Peppa Pig too?
That's recent. No.
Watch. No, you're so young. I don't fucking know.
Oh,
Apparently, he's an old goddamn man.
you are an old goddamn man. Look at your beard.
Yeah, give me some more whiskey.
That's really true. That old man thing. Yeah, okay. I'll click that. Why not? Because I'm still not as old as Joey is. So I appreciate
Yeah, give it, what,
it. Less than
24 days?
Oof.
Now everyone knows your birthday, if they can math. And I was right.
If I can math, that's a lot of fucking variables.
And if they know when this was recorded.
Yeah, exactly. I don't necessarily put a timestamp.
I don't even know the date. I think it's the 6th.
No, it's the 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, More. Now I gotta edit that out.
So,
Oh,
so it was the 8th?
or is it the 9th?
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it past midnight? Who knows? Time's not real.
It might be by now because we're like 3 hours late.
Arpeggio.
Archipelago? Cluster of Islands?
Is there a gas leak in here?
Man, I don't know nothing about geometry.
Anybody else smell toast?
Okay, so you want coronavirus to kill everyone.
Oh, whoa.
Is that what you
Whoa.
said?
No.
Just some massive accusations right out the bat.
No. I would much rather, like, fucking Kim Jong-Un's hot sister do something fucked up in the world.
She's not hot. If you think she's hot, you saw Photoshop pictures of her.
Oh, all right. Hold up. Pull up pictures of Kim Jong-Un's sister.
I'm fairly certain she doesn't actually have eyes.
No, they're buttons that have been sewed on.
Oh my god, she literally looks like a fucking like Korean pop star.
No, you saw a Photoshop picture.
Oh, or you saw
dead on.
Or you saw old pictures of her. I don't know. How old was she now?
How old is she? I don't fucking know.
Okay, well, thanks.
Oh.
No, that's not a picture of her. That's Photoshop.
No, that one's not photoshopped.
It 100%.
She looks gaunt as fuck in this. The ones I've seen, she looks better than that.
The ones you've seen were photoshopped.
No. That's on the side by side.
Hey, we're gonna go into some dead air.
There we go.
That's
That's
all
not
on our phone.
Yeah, that's like. I mean, that's also like she looks scary in that one. But that.
Yeah, that's her default.
Her fucking forehead's the size of your ego.
My forehead's the size of my ego.
Okay.
Yeah. You're 5.
At least you're fucking covering up with some fucking hair and shit. She's trying to present it.
Hey, in Asian culture,
I was about to say she's Asian.
yeah, larger foreheads are, like actually.
Look, I'm not saying she's fully on a track. Let me backpedal. Apparently, y'all are full on into fucking, defense of this fucking dictator.
Yeah, literally, power makes you hotter. What do you not understand?
No, there's not wrong. For one, it is a fact. A lot of Photoshop pictures of her have been going around to make her look a lot more attractive, so people can make anime pictures and shit about her. Because people just love sexualizing, dictators.
Everything.
Okay,
I mean,
Ooh, Mussolini.
They're just females. Females in power.
Okay.
Typically, it's not.
Yeah, females in power. That
can't make them attractive.
no.
Not to get into politics too much, but anyway, fuck this dictator.
But anyway,
She's not conventionally attractive or unattractive.
depends on your convention.
Definitely not the Geneva Conventions because it's Korea.
Okay, boy, thank you.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Anyway, all right, but we discussed all that last week, so let's break away from that. Also, could I get another shot?
Yeah, I don't want another one on that one.
Okay, I'll pour my note 5. But break away from that again because we talked. I can't see. Fuck you.
I'm gonna get you a fucking body pillow over.
Oh, bet it'll go right next to my Hisoka body.
You'll fucking sew a flashlight right into that thing. You won't hesitate.
Hesitation. I don't know the meaning of the word.
Anyway, that awkward silence happened. All right, so one of the things we definitely wanted to discuss this whole Karen thing that's going on right now.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I assume you've heard about that. As they are
the K word.
Yeah, the K word as they're calling it. Like they're relating Karen on the same level as the N word right now.
Say it.
Nigger?
Watch with that hard R. Calm down.
Nigga, sorry.
Hey, he's black. Isn't he allowed to do that?
No one should be allowed to do it. It's just whether you're okay with getting it. Somebody doesn't like it.
Isn't he not disallowed from saying it?
Well, that's actually why I wanted to bring him in on this whole subject, honestly, because as the only person here without forced privilege, I want to hear your take on it.
The K word? That is so funny. Karen is literally what people started saying to not be like, you stupid fucking bitch! Or listen here, cunt. They're like, okay, Karen. How do you get mad about, the third or... It's the fifth thing somebody thought to say when you said some real Karen-ass shit. When you say something that is straight up, privilege, they're like, Karen. Stop.
And this isn't the first time this has happened. Yeah. I don't have examples, but I know there's a quote that's years old before this Karen bullshit came out. They're if you're trying to claim a specific word is as bad as the N word, while saying that word,
but not saying
yeah,
then it's not as bad.
The K word's as bad as the N word.
I mean, I'm going to say Karen. I'm going to keep saying Karen. Maybe I'm allowed to because of my white privilege.
Everybody's allowed to say Karen.
You're just allowed.
And honestly, if you want to drop the hard R, you can.
All right.
Just know,
Cotton?
Mike.
Do you feel for babies named Karen 3 months ago?
Oh no.
That's a rough name.
Also, who's naming their child Karen? Like, are you naming like a 60-year-old woman?
Honestly,
You're 30 with the fucking side haircut?
there's a specific amount of names like Karen and like Susan and Margaret. You know, just names out there that these like they evolve like Pokemon. You know, you get 45 years old and like menopause stops or some shit, and
It starts.
you just have the same name.
You
This is
hit
your name now.
you hit the stage where you fit your name. You're like, man, you're not a Karen. Hits 35. God damn, you're a Karen.
So the hair immediately just grafts into the right shape and everything.
And your name changes from Emily to Karen.
Yeah.
And you want to speak to the manager at all costs.
Yeah, I
At all costs.
All costs.
But not yours.
Yeah, not your
Because
cost.
you're getting a refund.
exactly. But like it's very similar to that thing that was going on not too long ago with the boomer trend that was going on. Like,
Okay, boomer.
yeah,
The B word, you mean?
sorry, I used the hard R. My bad.
I did love how it shifted that boomer's not a generation anymore. It's a mindset.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a personality.
You can be a
Yeah.
fucking 10-year-old.
Anyone can be a boomer now.
The best thing about that was watching all the people who didn't realize that they like fit into like the age demographic. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm a millennial. They're like, oh, holy shit. And like Facebook has changed and like social media has changed simply because before this it was a whole lot of fuck this people from this year, and then you find out what the fucking phrase is to group in like 5 to 6, 8, 10 years worth of people, and you're like, fuck these group of people, and then you find out there's like, oh shit, I'm in that group of people. Well, let me not talk any more shit.
Yeah.
Let me just be more like particular about who I'm talking shit about now, because it seems like I've been talking shit about myself and I look real dumb like.
Do you think eventually millennials are going to get looked at by like Gen Z in the same way we see boomers and some Gen X?
Oh boy. No, here's the no.
Do you think our generation is going to shit on the next few generations in the same way that the greatest generation and baby boomers do?
Well, here's
I mean,
yes.
I feel like we're tentatively starting to get that way with some of the younger generations. It's like
Fortnite.
It's already started with music.
Oh god.
Yeah, it has started pretty heavily with music.
That's a constant thing. That's been a thing forever.
Like the thing.
Yeah, that's not just the whole like boomer dynamic. That's literally just a generation.
Well, but if you look at it from an objective standpoint, like at current time, if you look at the current musicians, a lot of them are doing some really innovative, neat stuff. But like the biggest demographic is the music you can just vibe to. You say nonsense, hit some good beats, and make sure whatever the nonsense you're saying fits a flow, it vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Iso Malene is one of my favorite fucking songs ever created.
But if you look at everywhere else, like even if you were saying nonsense, it wasn't like literal nonsense. You were just talking about some either fucked up shit or some druggy bullshit or just something ridiculous, but you weren't just spouting nonsense like hoopla. You just words, and it sounds nice.
Yeah, only one person can do that, and that's Bo Burnham.
No need to repeat.
But what I'm interested in is to see like you see how certain generations have like been super, super progressive, and then we regress and then progress. It would be interesting to see if Gen Z or the people after Gen Z regress or progress.
I don't know.
And it would depend on like how we would interact, because currently we're moderately progressive, and then Gen Z is progressive.
And it's so weird because you're right. Like I was raised by a boomer. I'm a millennial. Every single boomer that I know that has kids, they're raising like Gen Z people, and they're raising them. From what I hear, they're raising.
What's the boomer age? Like, it's boomer.
It's between like
it ends at 64.
Yeah, it's like 45 to 64.
Okay,
Yeah,
then my pops,
65
both my pops and my mom.
Something is because my dad is a boomer and my mom is whatever the generation after that is. I forget what it's called.
The greatest generation.
The greatest generation.
Yeah.
So my mom's the greatest generation and my dad's a boomer.
Really? Oh.
What's Greatest Generation age?
And they're only 1 year apart.
Oh, interesting.
Wasn't there people who lived in the 70s, essentially,
They're
right?
probably-
Who grew up in the 70s? During, like, the
I lived
biggest,
in the
like,
Greatest
peaceful
Generation.
age we ever had.
Okay.
From their attitudes.
Is it your grandparents?
No, I didn't say my parents.
No, they're boomers.
Yeah, my dad falls in boomer, and my mom falls in the Greatest Generation.
She's boomer.
Again,
When it's within a year, it depends on literally how the social dynamic changed. Because it's categorized by when there was a big social shift.
Yeah, and
That's-
baby boomers came from all the soldiers returning from World War II.
Yeah. But it depends on what was happening in her or his year.
Yeah.
What matches them up. Like the age groups is a kind of like a net, but it matters on the social developments during that year, which really categorizes them.
What I base it on is, you're completely right in all you're saying, but as far as they go, I put them in the Greatest Generation just because of their attitudes and the way they're.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like there's like a shift. There's a noticeable shift because of what they experience.
Yeah.
That's what the difference is, really. Like if she was raised by people who absolutely were down with the Greatest Generation beliefs, like the stuff that was going on then, as she was raised, that is her belief system, which is why she falls into it. On top of being within that year.
yeah, again, 'cause it's just as heavily a mindset. It's more a mindset.
Yeah,
than it is
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah,
much.
But yeah, specifically,
Because like I know a lot of people
I
we're
think
growing
the-
up with.
I think the dynamic's
Aggressive.
going to be a lot different, actually, for the next several generations. Because the baby boomers are massive. There's a shitload of them.
Yeah.
That's why they were called that. It was the baby
Boomers.
boom
Yeah.
from all the soldiers and stuff returning from the war.
Free love.
Yeah, and a lot of that kind of shit going on. I think it was like
Jimi Hendrix and Santana losing their shit on guitars.
I mean that's when baby boomers were like teenagers and stuff growing up.
Yeah.
And they split heavily.
But
And that's a big problem we have in politics. Not to get too heavy into it.
They got either really bad or really good.
Well, no, because that's when the free love, one love, peace, make war, not peace, or make peace, not war,
or whatever.
Make war not peace, let this world end apocalypse.
Hey, Punisher,
Hell yeah.
sickness, poem. No, but yeah, a lot of the boomers grew up. I would say maybe a quarter of them grew up with the free love, one love, make peace, not war mindset with Hendrix and the Stones and all that kind of shit. And
The others, fuck those hippies.
yeah, it was fuck them hippies. They were being raised by people that lived through the Great Depression, that fought for their country, that killed the shit out of Nazis.
And Japs.
Yeah, I think a lot of them gone through Prohibition, just all kinds of real shit. Like,
Economic collapse.
they're already building this country that we're living in now.
Mhm.
And a lot of the baby boomers took that real, conservative standpoint that I can get behind. I'm not conservative right now, but I can get behind
Their
the conservative
mentality at that
standpoint
point in
from,
time.
90 years ago, 80 years ago.
Yeah, it
I
was.
get behind
It
it.
was not the same back then.
That level of nationalism is different from, nationalism is almost a bad word nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That back then was just a level of nationalism
It meant something.
that any American could probably support.
Well, when we were growing up, literally,
Granted,
when
there was
we
a lot
were
of
growing up, nationalism was absolutely okay.
Yeah.
There was no problem.
I'm not saying there wasn't a bunch of horrible shit going on then, because there was still segregation. The fucking KKK was in full swing at the height of their power and shit.
This isn't that right now.
I mean, they're not in
getting
that.
back to that because the baby boomers that actually took that
They
conservative
raised people who
standpoint.
feel that way.
Yeah, the baby boomers that took that conservative standpoint, upped the ante on it, and went into politics and got in positions of power. Because all the hippies from the baby boomer generation, they didn't do anything, ultimately.
They didn't do anything that would affect the
Next generation.
No, not you can't say they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything that would affect the world they lived in on a sociological, political standpoint.
They
They literally affected.
They did women's suffrage, they did civil rights and stuff.
Then you also have
They did some heavy shit.
you have
They
art and
did,
everything else, but
But
they did.
none of them got into politics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They did not affect our politics.
They did a lot of stuff while they were young, But once they got older, they stopped.
No, there are people, they did not get into politics. It isn't about when they stopped, it's about what they did. They had a impact on our world. But in the U.S., politics dictate a lot of things. And and the fact that baby boomers who were like super about what he's talking about, the conservativeness and like whatever way they decided to think, those are the people who went to politics, and they were not countered by other people because they... At that point in time, it was anti-government. You didn't want to get into politics. You didn't think that you could change anything because they're just sending soldiers over. So all you want to do is resist that. And then you have the other people who are like, "This is what should be done, and we're going to perpetuate that."
Well, and also to that end in the 60s and stuff, the Million Man March and women's suffrage and all those protests and some riots.
That wasn't even political. That was social. Those were social changes that shifted into politics.
Those are one and the same nowadays.
Yeah, but it's different when you look at the politicians, though. The politicians work like we don't have hippies that became politicians pushing that idea.
Yeah, but back then, the politicians we had back then were more or less bipartisan. You know, fucking Nixon, he got impeached by the Republican Party.
I'm not a crook.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't he bow out before that happened?
He still got impeached, though.
Yeah, like Clinton still got impeached.
Yeah, Nixon resigned before he could.
Officially. Okay.
But that was the GOP that impeached him.
Okay.
And I guarantee, because back then it wasn't about a person, it wasn't about a specific thing. People were behind the party.
Mm-hmm.
People were behind ideas. Now people are behind. You're either behind fucking Biden, or you're behind Trump, or you're behind Bernie, or you're blue. No matter who, it doesn't matter. You don't give a shit about the other side. You're not looking at the facts. You just you
know what you know, and
you're a Democrat. You hate Republicans. That's where we're at nowadays. You're a Republican, then you hate Democrats, and they're all fucking pussy snowflakes. And if you're somewhere in between, you hate everybody. And you're an anarchist, and you just want the apocalypse to start.
Anarchy.
But yeah, back in the day, in the 60s, during the suffrage and the Million Man March and all the civil rights and shit, those protests and those riots, that made a difference. So the politicians were, they were more or less bipartisan. They cared about what the people think because they didn't have big business keeping them in their fucking seat. It was the people at the time keeping them in their seats. So they see a massive show of fucking power. They see a massive show of force. They see fucking riots in their streets because they're fucking, what's the word for it? They're, the people that fucking put them in the office are fucking mad.
Oh yeah, the supporters.
Yeah, there's a word for it. I fucking can't remember it for the life of me.
I feel like that's a pretty good segue actually into something else I wanted to talk about. And that's the current people that are protesting the shutdowns and whatnot and the isolation. And it is honestly a kind of a fucked up dynamic to look at because you have legitimately just dozens of people, hundreds of people out with like just weaponry on like the State House steps or just in public spaces, just protesting being shut down. And it's not even mostly like them advocating themselves to go back to work. They want other places of convenience to open up for themselves.
They want people to go out during a time of like an actual pandemic. Like what's going on is it hasn't happened for a hot minute. It didn't happen during my dad's time, and he's in his 60s, mid 60s, late 60s.
Black Panthers,
like all kinds of shit.
I don't think it was a pandemic.
No, but I'm talking about a pandemic.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about people standing on the fucking.
Oh yeah, no. That motherfucker was like, "Stop calling me a nigger."
No, like nowadays, just imagine a group of black people trying to do that.
Oh,
the Black Panthers, they stood on fucking like State House steps and shit, fully fucking armed with like fully automatic rifles and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of Black Panthers are fucking like either ex-military or just completely anarchy. And
about the black movement and the fucking AfroCon.
Yeah, and I can't say, it didn't, the pictures that I saw of that and, the reporting that I've seen on that didn't eventually devolve into some sort of riot or, fucking KKK protests or fighting like that. I don't know, but I've seen pictures, I've seen videos of Black Panthers standing on State House grounds, fully fucking armed, and I didn't see any pictures of them completely gunned down and massacred.
Yeah.
Afterwards, so.
And it's really weird. Like,
but that could not happen.
Yeah,
that would not go.
It would immediately be a massive show of force by our militarized police.
Yeah.
Like right now, you see a shitload of fat white dudes out there with their semi-automatic fucking assault rifles. It's great, and there's like 3 cops.
Yeah, just basically there to observe and report for the most part. Because they're not doing anything to shut it down.
Yeah. The biggest thing is that the racial tensions at that point in time, the political atmosphere was trying to like quell that. Right now, they don't give a shit. Like, the political atmosphere actually benefits off of?
Yeah, they want it to.
Yeah. So, and I mean, police kind of follow politics, so it makes sense. I'm not going to make a bunch of crazy claims, but. Yeah.
Well, and they do, because I guarantee, like, you got all of these fucking white people standing up there with a shitload of guns and stuff, and cops sit there, and they do more or less nothing. Like, from what I've seen, they don't even make like a line.
Yeah,
they at least people have to stay.
They don't try to establish control.
Yeah, but if a bunch of fucking people of any sort of ethnicity attempted to do that. Police would show up. I mean, most police have been trained how to escalate situations. They know they've been trained to de-escalate situations. That's what they're supposed to do. But they know how to escalate situations, and they do. There's hundreds upon hundreds of videos of police escalating just traffic stops, just Terry frisks, stop and search frisks, and they escalate. They're trained to de-escalate.
Mm-hmm.
But look at every situation where some people of color have gathered, and how many times have you ever heard about police showing up and just escalating the situation until less than lethal, or sometimes even lethal force is required? And I air quoted there for a second. And look at all the Native Americans that were trying to defend their land from a pipeline that busted, I should say, after it was
exactly like
pipeline being put through their land. They got tear gas. They got the shit beat out of them. They were jailed. They were charged.
I have friends who literally they were there for the whole fucking thing, literally because it was a bunch of white guys. They were like, "Yo, time to use privilege to save these people," because they just literally they stayed out there for fucking months.
You know what's even more fucked up? I don't want to talk about
trying to bail people out of jail.
I don't want to give any sort of credence to these assholes out there with fucking assault rifles and just AR platform rifles on state grounds, disobeying CDC and WHO guidelines and disobeying actual peer-reviewed science.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any sort of credence to them. But I am not willing to say at this point in time that there is no group of people that would be interested or are interested in establishing a version of what people would know as a New World Order. And this would be the perfect situation to do that.
Using this as an excuse to establish some other kind of control.
To that end, at this point in time, I would be more concerned if no one was protesting anything.
Oh, yeah.
True.
By far.
The way I see it is, I'm glad that there is some kind of movement within society, because this is the kind of thing that, of course, normal people, because not in a society, not everybody's going to be logical, not everybody is going to be thinking about the right things, because that is, like, until we come to a completely unified society, that is a hallmark of showing that everything is going normal.
Yeah.
You know something is out of sort when the bees aren't doing what bees be things at this point in time. But the fact that it is founded off of the idea that other people go out to do their things and you go out and do your things in a time that could be absolutely detrimental to others. Like, I've lost 3 family members during this whole thing. Sucks. Absolutely terrible. But the people who are like, oh, well, people are going to die no matter what. It's going to be this year or next year from the coronavirus, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yo, you understand how that you're like, I would have loved to have been able to get like an extra like day, 2 days, 3 days with the people I have lost from this. Saying that, oh, we'll get it out of the way now, like that is actually kind of psychotic. Like time matters. The time that people have matters, and to be just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna come out there and be a complete and total transmission vector. Because even if you are asymptomatic or something's not going on with you, you can pass it, and you are a sect. Like even if you don't catch it, but you're around somebody who had it, and it's on your fucking hands or something, your immune system may be like, nah, but you just pass that shit on. Like it's just not smart.
Off right there. Yeah, if anybody's listening to this at all, like right now or in the future, whenever the fuck, if you don't agree with the CDC and the WHO, the WHO guidelines and what you should and should not do right now, if you don't agree with peer-reviewed science and scientists and what they're saying, what they're recommending, you can fucking leave right now. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's
entirely.
That's a strong point to stand on.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about. I don't want to discuss politics and stuff. I will, but
yeah,
building this channel, what we're trying to do right now, I'd like to steer away from politics, at least the very controversial stuff,
best we can. But there's some stances that we'll
at this point in time, this is the world. So gotta talk about what's going on in the world.
This is the world.
We live in a society.
Yeah, but to that end, and I agree with you completely on all that. Fucking, I can't say I'm not a bit worried, because if I was a Cabal member, right? If there's a dozen of us,
you were, yeah.
What? Yeah. What do you know?
No.
Who have you been talking to?
If I was interested, if I owned one of the 6 companies that own everything in the entire fucking world, and if I was interested in taking over and ruling the world from an oligarchy standpoint, this would be the perfect moment to make a move.
Oh yeah,
to enact martial law step by step.
Everything's
because right now you can't step out of line and say a single thing that's somewhat controversial without 99% of people jumping on you and saying, "Fuck you, you're wrong."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the dynamic of this.
And read 1984, read Fahrenheit 451. That is exactly what the fucking government would.
You cause it social large.
The government doesn't have to shut you down if you talk up. Every one of your peers will
live in a society. The people snitching about people leaving their homes.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a time where it's like, oh, you absolutely be intelligent, careful, but I mean, once you fit certain criteria, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. It just matters whether you can tick off enough bad marks on the fucking list or not. This is okay, but not if you do this, and this, and this.
I think I said earlier, I'm on the verge, if not like an anarchist. Like, I don't believe any government fucking truly works, at least not long term. Fucking.
No, I mean, you say the same, just honestly, just humanity in general.
Might makes right. Always. Violence is the tool which everything is paid with. No matter what, violence is what guarantees you get what you want.
I had a point, but I forget what it was.
Take a shot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you might remember it after that. Well, like to go on like one of the extremes, like based on this, like recently, I'd actually seen a news article that it is in relation to these like protests, air quotes, that are going on, and I think it was like a dollar store of some kind. Someone was asked to put on a mask while in there.
Oh my god!
They shot the employee.
No, it was worse than that.
Okay, yeah, educate me some.
Oh my god, it was a fucking security guard that was not letting people into the building without putting on masks. And it was, I don't know the gender of the person, it was a person who, when they were told to put on a mask, I guess they got into a spat or something with the security guard, or it may have just been spur of the moment, but they went home, told their father,
premeditated,
and their father came and shot the security guard in the face and killed him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's so much, like, it wasn't spur of the moment, like, hot-blooded, how dare you say something to me, I have anxiety, wow. It was like, yo, I'm gonna go tell my daddy, and he's gonna come back here, and he's gonna fucking kill me.
Good.
Over wearing a mask.
Like that right there is like the point that makes everyone else look like a fucking lunatic.
Who was it? One of our Dago here friends posted recently on
Where was this at?
on Facebook.
I
don't know, some state.
you can look that up. That's been within the past 8 to 12 days.
One of our friends posted on Facebook recently saying like, if you're one of those stores out there that's requiring people to put on masks before they're allowed to come in, then I support you more than any other.
You're talking about the blacksmith.
Yeah, I really don't want to name names too much in this podcast because then we have to go out and get their permission to fucking talk about them. But I mean, he'd probably support me. I don't really remember him that well personally.
I know
a lot of his political ideals and stuff he's been posting on. He's pretty political on fucking Facebook. He's not quiet about it. And when I saw it, it was only a few hours old and had like hundreds of comments on it. It's just a bunch of fucking dumbasses. I'll say like 80% of people comment on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, totally, me too. And you get that fucking like 20, it
was a little bit more than 20 on that.
Well, you got like 5% saying like, I don't know. And then you got 15% like, no, you're all wrong. You're fucking stupid. The CDC's lying to you. And then they brought up that pandemic fucking video.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You watched that?
No, what is
the dumbest motherfucking thing? I'm so goddamn mad about it.
What is pandemic?
All right, so it's a YouTube video. I need to actually bring it up. It's a YouTube video. I'm not going to show it.
We're supposed to have a guy for that, but I don't know where he is at this point.
Well, I actually already saved the fucking
you got material
bullshit for it.
Pandemic. What?
So what is this?
Yeah, so it was a YouTube video that like a discredited fucking scientist from years ago just made these like controversial. I don't know if she made multiple of them, but she at least made this one controversial YouTube video, literally just shitting on peer-reviewed science. But somebody went out there, and I don't have a source for it. Somebody did the research on it, and like more or less all this is like backed up by other stuff. I had to make sure it's like more or less true.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say that. It doesn't actually mean anything, but from what I could tell, all of this is true. You can do your own research if you really want.
Which we encourage you. If we look like dumbasses, please research your own stuff so we can be dumbasses in years forward.
Yeah, I did.
Hit us up on Twitter, whatever. Man.
I did check to see if this is
Look me up on Facebook, talk shit.
It is true. But this was the response to this video, at least one of the most well-out responses I've seen. There is a YouTube video making the rounds about Dr. Judy Mikovits, a former researcher at NCI and a former director of the Whitmore Peterson Institute. Here's what you need to know. And for one, she was making a bunch of claims about just don't trust CDC, don't trust the government, like all this kind of unfounded, unpeer-reviewed bullshit, claiming that she's, this amount of education, that she worked with these people, and all this kind of bullshit. Yeah, you have to actually watch the video because I don't remember. I don't have an eidetic memory. But number one, she did not work with Fossey. She worked at NCI for 20 years with Frank Rossetti. Fossey is the director of NIAID and has been so since 1984. NCI is not the same as NIAID.
No, of course not.
Number two.
I don't know what any of those are, but they're not the same.
They're letters.
We'll have to watch the video after the podcast.
Yeah.
Actually, this is for them at this point.
Okay.
If I spent enough time explaining all of this, it'd be 2 podcasts.
Yeah, let's get the bullet points on this.
2. Her work linking XMRV to chronic fatigue syndrome has been completely discredited by multiple labs.
That is something I recognize.
In fact, she is listed as an author on one multi-lab study that showed her previous work was wrong. Her most prominent paper in the field has been retracted. Number 3.
Best way to show
she was fired as director of the Whitmore Peterson Institute for mishandling a cell line that had been sent to her erroneously. Number 4. She was arrested and jailed for 5 days, not years.
Okay.
For stealing equipment from the institute from which she was fired from.
Okay.
Number 5.
Who hasn't been?
I mean, who doesn't do that?
Yeah. Number 5. She has not published since 2012.
Something controversial.
That was 8 years ago for people listening in the
future.
Yeah. Yes.
If you manage to catch this one.
We have water right now. All of our polarized caps are mostly intact.
If you're listening to this on ham radio.
Yeah. I actually still have wet naps. So, yeah.
You gotta work on not talking.
Toilet paper is running.
We gotta work on not talking over each other.
We'll get to the...
Well, I'll put a class on it later again. Yeah. Number 6. She is now an anti-vaxxer and makes false claims about transmitting human pathogens through vaccines.
Okay.
Number 7. Last point. She wrote a book entitled Plague of Corruption and now claims her research was discredited as part of a scheme spearheaded by the Fauci to prevent the world from realizing what the true cause of cancer is.
Oh my God.
Verdict. Utter horseshit. Please stop wasting my time with these fucking YouTube conspiracy theory videos. There's a reason YouTube keeps dragging you fucking down, and I'm pretty sure it's not because YouTube is part of some fucking government cabal trying to establish a new world order by not letting people see a fucking 6-minute YouTube video. It's the dumbest shit. Like,
I have to read that book.
It's hazardous to people's health. That's why YouTube's bringing these fucking videos down.
Yeah, because they're liable.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
they're literally liable for misinformation.
Whether they're liable or not, it's just the right thing to fucking do. If people are posting videos that are going viral about, don't listen to the government. The coronavirus is a hoax. It's a Chinese virus that was created by the fucking communists to kill people, and they're trying to take over the world and shit. Fuck you. Do an ounce of fucking research into, viruses and just biology in general. There's no ounce of evidence, let alone peer-reviewed evidence, that you can create or cultivate or build a coronavirus. There's dozens of different kinds. The common cold is a coronavirus.
Yeah. Kind of, is it considered a COVID or is it just in the same spectrum?
Well, COVID stands for coronavirus disease. 19 stands for the year it was found.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the strain of it or something like that. Okay.
No.
My bad. Okay. So, but it's in the same.
So yeah, it's a COVID.
Okay. It's in the same family. At the very
I do my research. So
I know my words.
First of all, hold on.
I get mad about that.
We don't do that here.
So,
Research.
Speaking of fear-mongering, how about these murder hornets?
Bro, I was gonna bring that up. It's a hoax.
No, fuck you.
We've known about them for years.
Right, it's a hoax. How many have been found in North America?
I know.
I've never seen any.
They're in Tennessee.
They're already in Tennessee. Holy shit.
They've been in Tennessee for years, man.
No,
they haven't?
Yeah,
maybe you should do
as of what I've read, as of 2 days ago, 4, and also stop calling them murder hornets.
You fear-mongering piece of shit.
Yeah, that's fear-mongering as fuck. I tried to find who coined that fucking name. Whoever it is, go fuck yourself. I hope I get influential enough in any platform at all that I could personally tell you on whatever talk show you're on to go fuck yourself. They're Asian giant hornets. That's it. That's their fucking name, or giant Asian hornets. One of the other.
Big ass hornets that look like that. My buddy has literally said, been
4 have been found in the Pacific Northwest ever, and they were all found in late 2019. Oh my gosh, no.
2020. That's not mine.
2 have been found in fucking Canada.
Well, one of them in Canada, wasn't one of them a nest?
There was a nest in Vancouver.
Yes,
that was exterminated immediately.
Yeah, but in the U.S., 4 individual dead hornets,
and they were all dead. They were all found dead.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Asian giant hornets. They only die in the wild. The only time they die is either inside their nest or right by it.
Yeah, any further than that, and they're literally invincible.
More or less, yeah. They're fucking
what?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Well, the Japanese giant hornet is like 2 inches fucking long.
Yeah, I know.
It's basically a hummingbird.
How did Gavin put it? And about 2 inches long.
Roughly 2 inches
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
2 inches long. Like
A fish this big.
long.
According to Gavin Free of Rooster Teeth and Slow Mo Guys, that's how big a Asian
That's how big 2 inches is.
Japanese or an Asian giant hornet is.
Yeah.
Also, for one, the Japanese giant hornet is 2 inches long. The Asian giant hornet is like an inch.
Okay, then I might be confusing because like I believe it's the Japanese like giant fucking hornet, whatever the fuck it is. Like my buddy has been seeing them shits in Ray County in particular, like out there in the holler.
Well, then he needs to call an entomologist and get an other to exterminate the fucking nest.
Shit, it's in the holler, bro.
Okay,
It's the boonies. No one gives a fuck.
entomologists will go out there. Make your friend call entomologists because they need to be exterminated if they act and they haven't developed any sort of system that any kind of scientist has been able to find or any kind of authority has been able to find at all. They're not established. No sort of Asian hornet, Japanese or otherwise, is established anywhere in the United States as far as we know. If they do establish, it can be a problem, but they're not established.
Yeah.
As far as anyone knows.
They're very isolated
A
incidents.
few were found
The holler is on.
in a very
the holler. It's the middle.
in the boondocks.
Yeah.
And fucking bumfuck Egypt.
It's the mountains.
Maybe. That's unfounded, though.
Yeah. It's an alleged.
But if you believe your friend and he believes what he is telling you, then you definitely need to convince him to call entomologists out there.
Then I think I will do that.
I guarantee they'll be out there in hours to exterminate any nest
Yeah.
they could find.
I haven't done the research. I just know I was like, oh, what the fuck is this giant hornet? I've seen big ass hornets. What the fuck you talking about? Oh, that's bigger than a hornet I've seen.
Well, for one,
And then motherfucker be like, yo, dude, you know that shit's the shit I was telling you to look out for when you were in Tennessee? And I'm like, oh.
giant Asian hornets feed off of honey, and they're not really a problem or any kind of like endemic.
They're no more of a threat to humans than honeybees are.
Actually, they're much less of a threat than honeybees.
Well, was it like a third less?
They
What?
in Asia, and like all of Asia,
Where they
Asian giant hornets kill about 40 people a year.
So is the only reason
You
that
wanna
they're big
guess?
deals that they'll consume honey?
Yes. Well,
Destroy our
no. For a specific reason, and to get back on your point for a second, do you know how many people are killed by honeybees every year?
Probably like 100, 120.
Like 80 to 100 people, I think.
Yeah. So,
But no, in Asia, they're not a huge problem because evolution is a thing, and they live off
Only
honey. And what they do, they'll go into bees' hives and stuff, and they'll like sting the bees and chop their head off with their pincers and shit, and they'll kill the entire hive and eat the honey.
yeah, like one of them can kill like 1,000 bees on its own or something.
Yeah.
okay, that's why they're an issue.
Yeah. Well, in America, they would just wipe our fucking bees out.
Yeah.
Because
they're pussies.
Yeah, in Asia,
The bees will fight.
yeah, because evolution's a thing over the last, several fucking decades of these things running into each other. The Asian honeybees have learned to just ball up
And do
on
the heat
a
process.
single thing, and they'll beat their wings fast enough to literally heat up the surrounding area and literally cook the hornet
I've seen
to
that.
death, which is about the most brutal thing I've ever fucking heard of.
They also overheat themselves, by the way. They die. Most of them will die.
It's a worthy sacrifice.
Yeah, that is.
It's less than 1,000 fucking bees.
Protect the queen!
That is a sacrifice that I am willing to make.
The guy, Zach Brannigan's in charge of this. I
Could you
swear to God.
imagine if they were intelligent, though? If the bees and the wasps were intelligent. Imagine the wasp rolling them up on their fucking hive. He's 6 times the size of a normal honeybee. Say, hey, I'm gonna come in there.
I'm covered in armor.
I'm gonna sting you, and I'm gonna cut your fucking head off, and I'm gonna kill 1,000 of your fucking friends. Fuck you, bitch. Hey, alright. Well, I'm gonna get 1,000 of my fucking friends. We're gonna surround your ass, and we're gonna cook you to death.
And not all of us are going to die.
And most of us will die.
Well,
I don't think twice, bro.
45%.
yeah, I'd run right in like, all right, let's fucking
Well,
do it.
you also gotta imagine the fucking guys probably stinging a lot of them, too.
That's why it's the 45%. The ones on the outside.
Not only are we gonna cook you to death, I'm gonna cook some of my best friends to death just to kill your ass.
You have to die.
And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing to your best friend, and then to his best friend, and then to his best friend.
Anybody who could
At this point, I'm probably already dead.
We have hundreds of thousands of us, and we'll kill literally all of ourselves.
Wait.
Until you're all dead.
Are bees just Krieg's guardsmen?
They're slabs.
You have to explain that reference.
Warhammer 40k dudes who will literally just throw their bodies at the windmill. They're just like, oh, you need me to carry this grenade over there?
We don't have enough time in all of our podcasts to start talking about Warhammer.
No.
You know, bumblebees are endangered.
So
Like the American bumblebee, or like okay. I was about to say, I feel like other places are doing way better than
Are they
that.
actually in danger?
Other than like Australia. Australia is a shithole.
Are they actually in danger now? Last I heard, they were threatened.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Jake didn't do some research. Weird.
Okay.
You'll fit right in.
It goes back and forth. It's been
But-
going back and forth for years.
Regardless of what Jake was saying, the murder hornet bullshit
Yeah. Oh my god.
is fear-mongering to an extent that I haven't really fucking seen in years.
Coronavirus.
It's not really fear-mongering, though.
It's just
It's scaring people, yes.
Well, and no, I mean when I say coronavirus, as in distracting.
there has been fear mongering based off of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in the fact that it's like, all right, people are starting to be like, fuck the coronavirus. Release the bees. Yeah, but
Release the murder.
No, the calling the coronavirus like the Chinese virus, that's fear-mongering.
Wuhan.
That's straight up xenophobia is what it is.
Yeah, and fear-mongering of another fucking race and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, xenophobia.
You know.
It's in danger.
It's endangered? Oh, that's a shame. The bumblebee specifically?
Yep.
Oh.
Got the honeybee. Bumblebee.
Well, how are honeybees
Is
doing?
the honeybees are probably still doing
Honeybees they are a slightly different species. They don't get as big.
but are they
And
I know what they are. How are they doing?
Are they stabilized?
No, they're stabilized.
Okay.
I actually had somebody argue with me
Wait, was it?
a couple days ago. Or he said, "I'm a beekeeper. I know that the bumblebees are not endangered. You're being lied to." I'm like, "No, you're just an idiot. You're raising honeybees, not bumblebees."
You're raising honeybees, not bumblebees.
Bumblebees are about the dumbest insect I've ever fucking encountered.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, because I'm desensitized by bumblebees.
Carpenter bees are stupid.
Yeah, they are. No, bumblebees are stupid. Carpenter bees are dumb.
Okay.
Bumblebees are
All right.
stupid.
What makes
Oh, no, bumblebees are fucking stupid.
what makes them fucking stupid and fucking carpenter bees only dumb?
So carpenter bees, I don't have carpenter bees on my current property, but I did when we were working together.
Oh yeah.
We had a massive swarm of them, and the worst they would do is like land on you.
Yeah.
And they just chill on you as you walk hundreds of feet somewhere else. You know they're gonna die. They're not gonna find their fucking way back. They're stupid. But they just hang out there because they're fucking lazy. Like, oh, I flew 2 feet. I gotta land. Bumblebees. I have so many bumblebees on my property right now, and my biggest concern on my property are fucking red paper wasps because they just get angry. They see you. You know,
Why are you in my space?
you're within 50 feet of my 100-acre area. I'll fucking kill you. And they'll just. I've had red paper wasps chase me for like dozens of feet.
Why don't you just punch them?
I actually during the summer I actually carry around a can of that fucking wasp spray on me.
Like one with
It's
the
necessary.
20-foot range.
Otherwise, I'm gonna get stung, and that's like 20 or 30 minutes out of my fucking day. Because I'm sitting there just having to deal with that. I'm not Coyote Peterson. I can't get stung by like,
This hurts,
No.
but I can explain it.
No, have you seen them get stung by a normal, regular paper wasp?
No.
All right, so you've seen them get
I've seen them get stung by
the
crazy-
murder hornets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
That's the worst pain he's ever felt as a
Second.
No, the executioner wasp was the worst.
Was that the
Yes.
worst? Okay.
And he got stung by bullet ants and shit.
Yeah, the bullet ants is like number 3 or 4.
That was 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it was bullet ant. It was the giant Japanese hornet, and then the executioner hornet, which I believe came from somewhere in Latin America.
Of course.
Yeah. While he was actually coming back from like the Emperor Hornet or some shit like that.
Yeah.
There's another Hornet down there that he got stung by, and he's like on his way back to the studio or his hotel wherever he's staying at. He just saw a fucking nest of wasps that he's never seen before. He thought it was a new species at first.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, we gotta take this. And he caught one, Googled it, like, oh, it's this thing. It's not on the pain index, though. Guess we gotta do this. Ow! Oh, it was the worst one he's ever done.
That's gotta be terrible. You don't even know what you're doing, and you're like, damn, I made a mistake.
Well, I think he said if that one was worse than the bullet hand, he's done with the bite sting
Jesus.
thing.
Yeah.
And it was, worse than the
Significantly worse.
So is he not doing it anymore?
No, he's not.
He's retired.
He's been retired from for a year now. He doesn't do the bite thing anymore. He literally said 3 days ago, he came out with a video explaining the murder hornet thing and the Asian hornets. And he said he literally said if they do actually become a problem in the Pacific Northwest, I'll come out of sting retirement and I'll get stung by one of these.
Coyote,
confident.
You man.
And the last video I saw of him was him literally just playing with a black widow spider. Saying, like, if you don't fuck with it, it's not going to bite you. It doesn't want to bite you. All this kind of shit. Literally playing with it for 5 minutes on his hand. Just chilling with it. He got bit by a fucking, what was it, a centipede, a desert centipede or some shit. Which is about the 4th or 5th fucking worst bite he's ever gotten.
Yeah.
He's got stung by scorpions, but it actually wasn't that bad. But no, back to the original point. He's got stung by wasps and shit. He literally says, like, it's like it's telling me hi.
It's like, what?
It's like it's telling me hi. It's like a basic to him.
Jesus Christ.
He said when he got stung by the executioner hornet, it was like someone took a hot iron and stabbed it in his arm and didn't take it off for like 6 hours.
And it didn't cool down at all.
Yeah, for 6 hours. And he said he was in excruciating pain for 36 hours. He actually had to go to the hospital. That's the only time he had to go to the hospital.
Good God.
His entire arm was...
Yeah, I saw... Okay, that's the last one I saw. I thought he said that was number 2, though. There's the one that his fucking hand was super swollen, right?
No, his hand also got swollen with the Japanese giant hornet.
Okay, then it might be...
Very similar
might be
reactions on those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him talking about it just being like, dude, it wouldn't let up, and he had to, like... I had to get checked. I don't know if he went to the hospital, but he was definitely, like... I had to make sure...
If you look really close, the sting from the Japanese giant hornet, it actually didn't look that bad.
Which one is the one where it was just like sliding until it finally like stuck him? It was literally sliding in and out, and then it just stabbed the shit.
The Japanese giant hornet did do that because it was sitting on his arm.
It got stuck in his arm.
And it slid out perpendicular to his arm, or parallel to his
and then it
arm.
went down.
And then it went out, and then it went like halfway in, and then it just kind of like that.
Yeah.
And so it could have been worse. I feel like the fucking executioner wasp just got it on there, and like it sat there for a second. It's just like kind of fucking around because it clearly didn't want to sting him. Yeah, it has no idea what it's doing. And then you saw it put his butt in, and you saw it twitch. And then you saw him flinch, he let go of it, and you saw the fucking thing just rotate on its abdomen, like butt down, completely to his skin, just rotated on it to the other side of his arm. So that sting was completely inside of his fucking arm. With the Japanese giant hornet, it kind of stroked him with the very end.
Then that's the one I saw, because I saw like it had like
so it is a thing that was
just kind of
flicking
flicking
around.
around.
The Japanese giant hornet sting is worse.
Yeah.
But it could be subjective by how he gets stung.
How deep the sting.
But back to the original point, he's got stung by a regular paper wasp before, and it's
a joke.
It's like a tickle to him. Fuck that. It's nothing to him. Like I got stung by a wasp maybe like twice in my life, and I really don't remember it, but I know I don't want to experience it.
I've never ever been stung.
I got stung by a few bees before. I've had the stinger left in before, and that's just more gross than anything.
Apparently, he's been stung by the Asian giant hornet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But by the Asian giant hornet or the Japanese giant hornet?
It says Asian giant hornet on Wikipedia.
Well, the Japanese giant hornet is a subtype of the Asian giant hornet. There's like 4 or 5 different kinds of Asian giant hornets. The Japanese giant hornet is the biggest and most venomous of them.
Yeah.
The one's on here is the one from Southeast Asia.
Okay.
I have no idea where he was.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, do we have any more talking points we want to touch on? Any more politics that we don't want to talk about, but we'll talk about?
I want to know everybody's apocalypse plan.
What's our uptime?
We're right around the hour and a half mark right now. So I feel like that might be something to break into a little later.
Do you want to come back for another podcast, maybe?
Absolutely.
And we'll just talk about our apocalypse plan?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Without talking about too many details, because I don't want people to steal my plans.
Exactly. Or know where we're going to be.
The fun things. You got to have plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way to Z.
You're going to bring in the
Well, I know both of y'all are...
The McDirty clan.
Aren't both of y'all part of my apocalypse plan?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Is our group dynamic still going to be similar? Well, I'll be looked at in the same way as I am in the SCA as the captain of the group.
You know what?
If you'll let me,
Here gets overthrown within minutes.
Yeah. I don't want to be in charge.
Yeah, that is something to discuss next time, perhaps.
I agree with that.
Well, when do you think you can be back? I think you said you can't come out too often.
Yeah, until all this Corona shit stops. Probably like every 2 or 3.
And for our viewers and for our listeners, we have been safe. We've been cleaning up. None of us are symptomatic as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I have the 50 mask as well.
None of us are symptomatic. I've been wearing PPE at my job. I haven't been in contact with anyone, let alone anyone that's been in contact or is symptomatic with COVID. Soul hasn't been in contact with anyone outside of the house.
Yeah. Well, I had like 3 contracts this week, but I've literally seen one person during those, and they were wearing a face mask, and they were very far away from me, and they were old. I don't know if that part helps, but I didn't have significant contact with anybody, and that was the only time out of this entire week I've seen somebody.
Yeah. And
I stay relatively isolated.
My job's taking the utmost of precautions, and I'm not even allowed to really be in the same room as anyone.
Except in his personal life.
Yeah. I have mask, wazoo. And I've been stuck in my house for over a month, so I haven't really seen people.
Yeah. So we're not taking it lightly or anything like that. But I guess we don't have anything else too much we want to dig into. We should probably go ahead and start wrapping things up here.
So like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Please leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from anyone at all. We're lonely here in quarantine. Twitter will be linked as well, so feel free to leave a comment on that. If you want to hear anything like that, for some reason, if you want to hear us talk about something while we're drinking.
Topics or questions?
What do you mean for some reason? Of course they would love to listen to us talk about anything.
Any topics or questions, we're down.
Is there anything that's off the table that we won't talk about?
Very controversial politics, that's about it, I feel like. Because I feel like we're pretty established in our stance on things for the most part, especially this podcast.
School shootings?
Oh, yeah.
I talk about that.
I hate them.
They're fucking terrible, man. Why are you shooting up schools?
Oh, you want to talk about gun control now?
Hey, okay.
No. just the fact that
that goes hand in hand, right?
No.
Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah, let's go away from that, please.
Like, comment, subscribe. Please comment. Let us know if you want to hear us talk about anything.
Please subscribe.
And, whatever. If you want to. If you like it, give us a like, give us a subscribe.
If you got this far, come on.
Please watch it.
If you're on Spotify or Anchor or any other platforms that's streaming the audio of this, check us out on YouTube. We have a vlog also by the name of 2 Whiskeys.
Yeah, just 2 Whiskeys. You can just search that. You'll find us on YouTube. You'll find us on Instagram that way. You'll find us on Facebook that way. Twitter, oddly enough, you'll find us as T Whiskeys, all one word. Anyway, all right, this has been a 2 Whiskeys podcast. Shit, we didn't come up with that.
Burn in hell.
Fuck.
Apocalypse now, baby. Suck it.
And if you're not done with that, you can
suck it.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time.